I never liked closing up the old department store where I work, but I needed the extra money from night shifts. Most nights nothing happens. You just fold clothes, organize shelves, and lock up. But this one night last month still keeps me up, sometimes. It was a Thursday, and this huge storm was going crazy outside. Thunder so loud it made the windows shake. Almost no customers came in all evening because of the weather. By 8:30 p.m., the place was totally empty except for me. My boss called around 8:45. He said he wasn't feeling good and asked if I could finish closing by myself. I said sure, even though I kinda wanted to say no. The pay was good though, so whatever. The store feels way different at night. All those mannequins standing in the dark corners, the way the building creaks. I had my headphones with me but decided not to use them. Something about that night made me want to hear everything around me. I was almost done with my closing checklist. Just had to fold those stupid towels in the home section at the back of the store. The lights flickered a few times because of the storm. Normal stuff. But then I saw it. A single wet footprint on the carpet by the towel display. Just one print. Not like someone walked through. Just one single footprint, way bigger than my shoe size. I stared at it for a minute. Maybe security walked through earlier, but they left at 7. And why just one print? Where were the others? I tried to ignore it and kept working. 20 minutes later, I found another wet print near the kitchen stuff. Again, just one print, no trail leading to or from it. I checked my own shoes, bone dry. My heart started beating faster. I pulled out my phone to call someone, but had no signal because of the storm. Great timing. I decided to just finish up fast and get out. But as I passed the fitting rooms, there was another single wet footprint. This one looked even fresher than the others. The weird thing about the prints was how they made no sense. Like if someone was walking around, you'd see a trail, right? But these were just random single prints in different places, like someone was, I don't know, teleporting or something. I know that sounds stupid, but that's what it looked like. I don't usually scare easy, but I started walking faster. I just wanted to check the security office, grab my stuff, and leave. When I got to the office, I glanced at the monitors. That's when I felt my whole body go cold. The screen showing the back staff entrance had a timestamp from just 2 minutes ago, 9:17 p.m. The door was wide open, rain pouring in. I definitely locked that door myself at the beginning of my shift. I always do. I grabbed my bag without even clocking out and headed straight for the front door. As I was unlocking it, I heard a sound from behind me, wet footsteps. But not like someone walking, more like someone taking just one step, then nothing. Then another single step from a different direction. I fumbled with the keys, my hands shaking so bad I dropped them twice. The footstep sounds were getting closer, but they were coming from multiple directions at once, which is impossible. I finally got the door open and ran to my car through the pouring rain. I looked back at the store once before driving away. Through the front windows, I could see what looked like a person standing in the middle of the store watching me, but they were too tall, their proportions all wrong. I quit the next day. Told my boss I found another job. I didn't tell anyone what happened. Who would believe me? The weirdest part? When I was cleaning out my locker, I noticed my spare shoes were soaking wet. I hadn't worn them in weeks. I never thought I'd share this, but it weighs on me. I've worked nights at Pinewood Long-Term Care for 7 years. It's usually peaceful, patients sleeping, me doing hourly checks, and giving occasional meds. Just me and the quiet hum of medical equipment. Last Wednesday started normally. I arrived at 11, did my rounds, then settled at the nurse's station with patient charts before me. I remember thinking how unusually bitter my coffee tasted that night. Around 2 a.m. I noticed the medication room door slightly open. I always close it, an unbreakable habit. Inside, nothing seemed disturbed, yet something felt wrong. Like when someone's been in your house but nothing's missing. My skin prickled with unease. At 3 a.m., checking on Mr. Reinhardt in room 209, I discovered his IV bag had been changed. But I hadn't changed it, and nobody else was working this wing. The previous bag should have lasted until morning. The label showed the correct medication and date, but I hadn't administered it. The electronic system showed no record of anyone accessing that medication during my shift. I disconnected it immediately and took a sample. Back at the nurse's station, the sign-in log showed Dr. Whitaker had visited at 1:30 a.m., but he'd retired 3 months ago. Security footage showed no one had arrived on our floor. Then I discovered someone had accessed the patient monitoring system using my credentials at 1:47 a.m., exactly when I was checking on Mrs. Dixon in room 412 across the hall. My heart raced as I kept glancing over my shoulder. The hallway seemed longer, darker. The building's night sounds, air conditioning, distant monitors beeping, grew unnaturally loud. I tried calling my supervisor, just static. My cell phone showed no service, which never happens in the building. While rechecking rooms, I heard whispering from room 214, empty since Mr. Collins passed 2 days ago. I pushed the door open. Darkness. The light switch wouldn't work. In the dim hallway glow, I saw the empty, perfectly made bed, but the whispering continued from the bathroom. I should have run. Instead, I approached the bathroom door, slightly ajar. A shadow moved across the crack. "Hello?" My voice barely audible. The whispering stopped. Complete silence. I pushed the door open. The bathroom was empty, but written on the fogged mirror were the words, "I'm using your login." As I backed away, all patient call buttons began lighting up simultaneously. No sound, just blinking lights. I ran to call security. In the computer screen's reflection, someone stood behind me. I spun around. Nobody there. Security promised to send someone. While waiting, I reviewed more footage. At 1:22 a.m., the elevator opened. Nobody exited, but a sourceless shadow moved across the floor. I quit the next day. They found nothing on the cameras. The IV sample tested normal. Nobody believes me. But sometimes I receive texts from my old work login. "Missing you. On the night shift, and the patients ask about you. I've changed my number twice now." I never thought I'd be scared at my night cleaning job. It's just an office building, right? But what happened last month still haunts me. I work nights at this tall glass building downtown, 42 floors of identical cubicles and white walls. Start at 11 p.m. when everyone's gone home. That night seemed normal. I signed in at 10:45, nodded to the security guard glued to his phone, and took the elevator to the top floor. My routine is simple. Start at floor 42, clean everything, then move down floor by floor. After 3 years, I'm used to the silence. I was humming some tune from the radio. My girlfriend always says I can't carry a note, but nobody's around to hear anyway. On floor 38, something felt off. A light was on in Mr. Davidson's corner office. Strange since he never leaves anything on, ever. I went to turn off the lamp and noticed his computer running, screensaver floating across the monitor. A coffee cup sat on his desk, still warm to the touch, like someone had just stepped away. Maybe he's working late? But security confirmed I was alone in the building. I called out, "Hello?" My voice echoed back. No answer. I continued cleaning, but on floor 36, I found a conference room with chairs pulled out, like people just left a meeting. Papers scattered across the table, some still warm from printing. My hands grew sweaty on the vacuum handle. I pressed on. Floor 32 had fresh prints in the printer tray. Nobody prints at night unless they're working. I checked my phone, 12:24 a.m. I thought about calling my boss but imagined his response. "Ghost workers? Are you serious?" On floor 29, the bathroom sink had fresh water droplets beating on the porcelain. I stared at my reflection, noticing how pale I looked. I'd skipped dinner rushing to work. My stomach growled so loud it made me jump. Getting scared of my own hunger. Pathetic. What really shook me was floor 24. In the men's room, a yellow sticky note clung to the mirror. Check. The elevator logs. I froze. I hadn't told anyone about the strange things I was seeing. How could someone know? With trembling hands, I rode down to the security office. The guard was on break. I accessed the system. They'd shown us how during training. The elevator logs made my blood run cold. There were records of trips all night, always one floor ahead of my cleaning route, but the building access log showed only my 10:45 p.m. entry. Nobody else. Worse still, security footage showed empty elevators moving between floors, doors opening and closing with no one inside. I quit next day. My roommate says I talk in my sleep. Now, who's there, and nobody's supposed to be here. I only apply for day shifts now. I don't know what was in that building, but sometimes when I'm alone, I feel like I'm being followed. Like whatever stayed one floor ahead that night is still playing the same game.